Hi everyone, how's your week? Welcome back to Pacific Front channel. Last week, the UK-led carrier strike group entered the South China Sea. HMS Queen Elizabeth, along with escorts from the UK, US, and the Netherlands, will conduct naval exercises and port visit with several Asian nations. It makes me dreaming. How cool it would be if Indonesia could have our own aircraft carrier. Well, everyone has a right to dream, right? So today, let's look at the possibility of Indonesia having and operating an aircraft carrier. What should we prepare beforehand? What things should we consider? And what is the most suitable type of carrier for Indonesia? Stay tuned. First of all, right now, Indonesia still can't afford to buy an aircraft carrier, and we don't need one anytime soon. But the dream to operate one or more aircraft carriers have been in the mind of Indonesia's military planners for years. Some say when Indonesia celebrates the 100th Independence Day in 2045 is the right time to have this naval asset. The Indonesian Navy even already prepared the name for these carriers: KRI Majapahit, KRI Sriwijaya, KRI Demak, and KRI Samudra Pasai, taken from the maritime kingdoms in Indonesia centuries ago. With a vision to become the world maritime nation, the goal of having an aircraft carrier is clear: power projection to protect Indonesia's maritime interests. Having just a green water navy and a coast guard alone is not enough, because these assets have limited power and reach. But what are the strategic values of having an aircraft carrier? We should remember, the power that an aircraft carrier brings to the operational area is not only limited to capabilities that the fixed-wing asset can deliver, but also rotary wings asset, escort and support ship that sail with the carrier as part of Carrier Strike Group or CSG. An aircraft carrier is considered the most valuable sea-based asset and offers an incomparable military instrument with its ability to project tactical air power over long distances, including air interdiction, anti-surface warfare, offensive and defensive counter-air, and AEW. As a floating airbase, an aircraft carrier combines operational flexibility and speed of intervention to the operational area, freeing it from the problems and political compromises linked to the diplomatic authorization necessary from a land airport abroad and the clearances to overfly other countries' airspace. An aircraft carrier have everything needed to operate internally, from food to fuel, from ordnance to supply, and capable to express the maximum of its capability from the very first day of intervention for a prolonged period of time with limited logistic dependence. This endurance can be further extended by their capability for replenishment at sea. Although the speed of advancement of a CSG is limited, only a few hundred nautical miles per day, and can be greatly affected by weather conditions, naval forces can normally move more quickly over long distances than a large land forces, and this aspect contributes to the effect and power of a CSG significantly. Furthermore, sea-based aircraft mission with the carrier cruising beyond the visual horizon can be conducted with maximum safety and far less vulnerable to commandos' incursion and terrorist attack compared to a fixed airport in the area of crisis. And the last one, an aircraft carrier is more than just a military platform. It's a tremendous diplomatic tool able to exert influence by its mere presence in an area and deliver strategic political message. The type of influence is exceptionally flexible. A CSG can be used as a threat, but can also serve to strengthen alliances and forge coalition. What should Indonesia prepare beforehand? We have already set our goal to become a world maritime nation, and one of the strategies is having a capable naval power in the region. So before we plan on buying an aircraft carrier, first, we must modernize our fleet. We still lack modern OPV, we still lack modern corvette, we still lack modern submarines, and we still lack modern frigates. Until we have sufficient number of new vessels to cover Indonesian waters and transform our navy from green to blue water navy, then we are ready to buy an aircraft carrier. The second one is having deep defense cooperation with countries that have aircraft carrier, preferably the one that also produce a carrier-based fighter aircraft. This is important, because buying an aircraft carrier is one thing, but training the sailors and pilots for aircraft carrier is another. The Royal Navy had to ask for help from the US Navy and US Marine Corps to regain and maintain the skill and proficiency they need to operate aircraft carrier. For this, UK aircrew and flight deck personnel have been trained on board US carrier. Without a deep understanding and cooperation between the two, this training is not possible. And the third is political stability and national economic growth. We might have a plan to buy an aircraft carrier one day, but without Congress support, this plan won't happen. Buying and operating an aircraft carrier isn't cheap. It's an asset that requires a lot of resources to operate and maintain. If the national economic growth is low, the defense budget won't increase. If the defense budget isn't increased, we won't be able to afford one. Let's say at some point in the future, Indonesia get a green light to buy an aircraft carrier. What kind of carrier should Indonesia buy? Based on the capabilities to support the launch and recovery of fixed-wing asset, aircraft carrier can be categorized into three groups. The first one is CATOBAR, or Catapult Assisted Takeoff, Barrier Arrested Recovery, which includes the US Navy Nimitz and Ford class supercarriers and the French carrier Charles de Gaulle. They use the steam and extra electricity from their nuclear propulsion to operate the catapult system for takeoff. This system is more expensive to operate and requires more maintenance than the other two, but having the most variety of aircraft they can operate. Not only fighter aircraft, but also AEW aircraft and drones. The second one is TOBAR, or Short Takeoff Barrier Arrested Recovery. Some examples of these are Russian Admiral Kuznetsov, Chinese Liaoning, and Indian INS Vikramaditya. They use conventional propulsion and use their aircraft on thrust for takeoff. And the last one is TOEFL, or Short Takeoff and Vertical Landing. This type of aircraft carrier is equipped with conventional propulsion and are in use in major NATO navy, including the UK HMS Queen Elizabeth, Italian ITS Garibaldi, Spanish SPS Juan Carlos I, along with the US Marine Corps LHD Wasp and LHA America class. This aircraft carrier needs specific aircraft with TOEFL capabilities like the F-35B. So which one should Indonesia choose? In my opinion, the TOEFL aircraft carrier with the additional capability to deploy marine forces is the best choice for Indonesia's need, like the Juan Carlos I aircraft carrier or America-class landing helicopter assault. They have the capability to provide airstrike and deploy land forces at the same time. Or, the cheaper solution can be a helicopter carrier like the Izumo and Mistral class. They can operate fighter aircraft, but still a formidable naval instrument at sea. In summary, an aircraft carrier is a military tool of tremendous operational capabilities, which can provide the military and political leadership of Indonesia with credible option and solution for crisis management. While expensive to buy and operate, it may be ultimately less expensive and far more flexible both militarily and politically than deploying and sustaining land-based air assets in the outermost islands of Indonesia, and therefore well worth the investment. There you have it, some thoughts before Indonesia planning and buying an aircraft carrier. What do you think? Should we or should we not have an aircraft carrier? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.